Dr. Phil McGraw, better known as the TV personality Dr. Phil, appeared on the Joe Rogan podcast to discuss a variety of topics, including U.S. Senate candidate John Fetterman's and President Joe Biden's cognitive issues. Hi everyone, welcome to the JRE Companion. Subscribe to this channel to get all the latest updates on the Joe Rogan podcast. While both Joe Rogan and Dr. Phil expressed compassion for Fetterman, who is the current lieutenant governor of Pennsylvania, they both suggested that the Democrat focus his energies on properly healing from the stroke he suffered in May, rather than vying for higher office. Putting him in that position seems unfair, Rogan said. Fetterman's current troubles were succinctly characterized by Rogan. He's not simply stumbling. He's lost in thought, unable to create a logical phrase, and bouncing around. He's obviously compromised, Rogan observed at one point. Dr. Phil concurred with Rogan, saying that stress is the worst possible thing you can do when you're trying to recuperate from any kind of brain event like this. Though Dr. Phil emphasized that he had not checked Fetterman, he stated that persons who have had a stroke should allow their brain plenty of time to recover because neuroplasticity declines with age. Dr. Phil stated that in some situations, some portions of the brain can compensate for other parts of the brain that have been injured by a stroke, but such processes take time. Dr. Phil said that it was difficult to watch Fetterman during the debate. I felt terrible for him. Rogan also stated that Fetterman's handlers and campaign staff were aware of his difficulties and implied that they should not have allowed him to debate or even continue the Senate race. You're looking at a guy who appears to have something seriously wrong with his head, said Rogan. Even in interviews where Fetterman was allowed to utilize a screen for closed captioning, he still displayed severe speech and cognitive impairment. He struggled to create logical phrases while having the answers to each individual question put out in a way that he could read. Rogan went on to say that those in the media outlets that have attempted to minimize Fetterman's problems are spreading dangerous propaganda rather than reporting the news. The two men also briefly discussed Biden's cognitive difficulties. Dr. Phil addressed the obvious. President Biden is 80 years old, and such cognitive impairment is common in the elderly. It appears to me that President Biden is not at his best, and that Fetterman is not at his best, Dr. Phil remarked, calling Rogan's opinion quite generous. They also stated that their criticism of the two Democrats' mental ability had nothing to do with politics. We're not talking politics, Rogan insisted. We're talking about a person. What do you think about Fetterman, Biden, and their cognitive abilities? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. That's all for now, and I hope you liked the video. If yes, then make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Also, don't forget to share this video with your friends and family, and most importantly, subscribe to our channel with all notifications enabled so that you don't miss out on our latest videos about the Joe Rogan podcast.